So it's about 4:20 something p.m. on a Tuesday afternoon, December 12th, I believe, 2017. This morning when I woke up, um, I had a lot of. I was sleeping fine, but I started having um, a lot of strange head sensation. Not just the head pressure, the headaches, the migraines, and the shooting, stabbing pain around my head, but and the electric shock sensation. But I had this sensation where my head was. I don't know. I can't. It's kind of hard to explain, but I feel like there was fluid and liquid in my head. If that makes sense. When you feel like there's liquid on your body, you can feel it dripping. That's how I felt when it was inside my head. It just felt like there was liquid and fluid dripping inside my brain. I was fine when I woke up, but it happened like maybe 2 hours, um, 2 hours after I woke up. So I was just laying in my bed when it happened, and then when I went to my backyard around 10, 11 something a.m., and then I just had this other strange sensation where I felt like I was just sitting in my backyard on the floor, and then when I got up, I don't know if I got up too quick or what, but sometimes when you get off your bed too quick, you start feeling dizzy, off balance. But this time when I that's what happened to me. But when I stood up from sitting down, I felt like I got taller. If that makes sense. It felt like I grew like 2 or 3 feet, because when I stood up and then I looked down, I felt like the ground was like I couldn't reach the ground without reaching all the way down to touch it. If that makes sense. It was just a really strange sensation. It didn't do me into a panic attack or anything. It was just one of those sensations that was strange. And then when it was over, I got off. I got out of my backyard and started walking back into my room. And then out of nowhere, when I got to my kitchen, and that's when I started having the urge to run back in my room. But what was strange about that was I was already heading back into my room at that point, but just having the urge to run back to my room when I was in the kitchen kind of reminded me of what happened to me a couple of times. So like right now, I even have like a lot of I'm having a lot of headaches, head pressures right now. So I didn't really walk too far. I'm just at my local elementary school, which is not even a block away. I'm just gonna stay here for a few minutes and then walk back home. But yeah, like also I need to stop sitting down and like tilting my head down, because that's also the reason why my neck feels so tense up, and and I keep having to rotate my neck like that just to crack my neck. I mean, I don't want to crack my neck, but it, it just cracks itself most of the time. But if I don't do this, my neck just gets completely stiff. But when I'm doing that, it also gets me a little off balance for a little bit, which, you know, is common. If you're gonna move your head like that, you're gonna get a little off balance. Yeah, so sometimes when I rotate my neck like that, on my head I should say, um that cracking sensation actually kind of helps me. It actually feels good, but I have this, it's, I can feel the sensation that when it cracks, it goes down my spine, and then it's like I feel more balanced, or if that makes sense. Yeah. You know, sometimes when I'm walking, just sitting there, sometimes it feels like it just feels like my body is not perfectly aligned, if that makes sense. It feels like I'm always walking like with one leg higher than the other, or like I'm standing on one leg or walking on one leg. That's how it feels like sometimes. Earlier when I took a shower, which I just took a shower when I was in the bathroom, I also had this. I was falling asleep taking a shower. Then I started getting the weekend jelly legs when I was in the shower. You know, something that I don't like is because I had a panic attack, couple of panic attacks in the shower. So when my legs got weak and jelly, you know, I was like, oh, great, you know. But I didn't run out the shower. I just stayed there. Even though I was like, it is scary to have a panic attack in the shower, because, you know, if you needed help and you actually felt no one's going to hear you, and that's one thing that came to my mind. So sometimes, you know, wherever you had a panic attack, and, you know, you get over that fear of that place, sometimes, like, sometimes you just get over it, and then sometimes it just, something else triggers you to having that memory of that panic attack there. So I think that's what happened to me today when I was in the shower. And when I went to my backyard, I used to go to my backyard towards last year, especially towards the end, the last month and a half of summer of last year, 2016. I used to go to my backyard pretty often, because slowly my anxiety was going away. Because I remember when I couldn't even go near my backyard, couldn't even go to my front yard. So when I slowly went to the backyard, I feel more comfortable. So every once it hits around 10 a.m. in the morning, I would just sit in my backyard for like, I started off by staying out there for like 5 minutes, and then one day I even stayed out there for like over an hour. And, you know, I got used to my backyard. That's how I got used to going outside. by starting off in my backyard and then my front yard. I started going to my front yard in the middle of the night, but after I had like a really bad panic attack starting in October 2016, I stopped going to my backyard and I didn't want to leave my house again. So I think that's what happened to me when I went to my backyard this morning. I started having a little flashbacks, of last year, and that's something that I still trying to work on, like just get those memory off my mind. But sometimes it takes a while. Sometimes they'll leave you alone for a while, and sometimes they'll just come back. And when it comes back, you can't stop thinking about it. It's like you're taking one step. It's like you take 5 steps forward with your anxiety, and something happens, you take like 10 steps back, and you got to work your way back up, which is part of recovery. But like I said, I'm happy that I've been leaving my house. I'm driving, I'm going for walks. Sometimes I'm not even going for long walks like today. But all that matters to me is that I'm trying to leave my house. Other than that, like I said, I have having a little really bad migraine at the moment, so you're gonna start seeing me like randomly touching part of my hat, like my face, especially like over here. I can feel that headache with there's just that really bad pain. And when you get a headache, you like, especially a migraine headache, you can't really handle noise or bright lights and whatnot. So that's why I didn't really leave my house this morning like I was hoping to, but I still made it to my backyard. I don't know. I kind of want to see if I can get like a X-ray on my spine, or like from a chiropractor, see if there's something wrong with my spine that's causing me to have these pains, because I have a bad habit of like pushing my head down, like when I'm sitting down on my phone, when you hunch your head down for so long, and then when you get up and then you're like, whoa, you feel like you're gonna fall. It's most likely that's just a anxiety symptom that I just want to make sure my neck is okay, because there's days that my neck doesn't feel like it's in any pain at all, and then there are days like today where I'm just having headaches and my neck is hurting and stuff. It makes it hard for me to walk when my neck is in pain, because I can't really my body doesn't feel aligned, and then when I'm walking, I feel like I'm drunk. But also another thing that actually does kind of help with my neck is sometimes I'll put icy hot in the back of my neck, like down my spine. But the only thing about that is, if I put it on and I forget and I go take a shower, it burns. But icy hot does help. But then again, like I mentioned, it burns, and I don't want to put it on too much, because sometimes it doesn't irritate my skin, but the smell of it too kind of gets to me. Anyways, I'm just gonna start heading back home. Yep, so I'm home now, but as you can see, I still having a little really bad migraine, and that, like the cluster headaches, the ones that around your surround your and stuff. Oh, and it's making me sleepy, and I just woke up from a nap too. It's like I can't even keep my white eyes open without wanting to like close it. But anyways, I'm just gonna go back inside. So it's currently about 4:13 on a Wednesday afternoon, December the 13th, I believe, 2017. I'm still having a lot of headaches from today. Mostly headaches and just like a bunch of head pressure and whatnot. This morning when I woke up, I feel much better, but it's still here. Yesterday I had a really bad day. As you can see from the previous video, I didn't really go for a far walk, not too long, but when I got home, about maybe 10-15 minutes later, my neighbor came and asked me if I wanted to go for a walk, and I just went. So I went with him for another, I don't know, maybe 3-4 blocks. I actually was having really bad migraines when I was walking as well, but I stick with it. I didn't want to end the day with on a negative. But when I was walking, I was also really dizzy. I didn't really want to film when I'm walking with him, because I'm talking to him, so I didn't want to seem kind of rude and just put my phone out and start recording and talking to him. So it feels good, just being able to go for another walk. If he didn't come to my house, I don't think I would have actually went for another walk. Like I say, part of the recovery, you're gonna have good days, you're gonna have bad days, but you can't allow the bad days to get to you, because if you do have a bad day and you let it get to you, which I know it happens to me sometimes, but if you let it get to you, then you're gonna start saying, oh, what's the point of going out if I'm just gonna have a bad day? You never know, you might wake up, have a bad morning, but the rest of your day, it might be even better than you expect it to be. You never know. We can't tell the future. We always think, oh, we're gonna have a bad day because we wake up with one little panic attack or one really bad panic attack. Who knows? You might have one really bad panic attack, and you might not even have one for a couple of days. You might be panic free for a few days, few weeks. I mean, it happened to me before. So sometimes when you have a really, really bad panic attack, and then you stick with it, and then nothing happened, and then you're gonna realize, hey, I had a really bad panic attack, nothing really happened. So the more you get used to it, the easier it gets. I mean, like I mentioned, it's gonna take time, but the only thing you can do is allow yourself to have the panic attack. Don't be scared of it. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are times that I'm still scared of it, but everyone's gonna get scared of it. But then once it's over, either you're gonna think about it, okay, nothing really, I had a panic attack, I'm still alive, I thought I was gonna die, but I didn't die. Don't get me wrong, it does feel like you're gonna die, but how many of us know what it's like to actually die? We're still alive. So I mean, it can feel like it, but we're still alive. But anyways, I'm about to head out for a walk. Like I mentioned, my body is still kind of ache. I'm still having a lot of headaches, migraine and stuff. So I'm just gonna see how far I can get. Oh yeah, I'm sitting in my car at the moment, but I still haven't drove my car, but it feels good being able to sit in my car and not panic. Like I mentioned, my car is the first place I had my panic attack. Well, I was in my car when I had a panic attack. So right now I'm getting used to sitting in my car every every few weeks I'll sit in it, start my car for a few minutes. But yeah, I'm just gonna head that way now. Well, that just made me really dizzy. I actually had to apply icy hot because my neck is so tense. See, every time I do that, like I duck down from a tree, that's when my neck starts to kind of crack. Even like a little slightest movement, my neck will crack. And that's pretty much it. I'm home now, so um, like I mentioned, I always have to like move my head left and right, just so my neck doesn't get stiff. And it's annoying too, because if I don't move my head, you know, left, right, up and down, my neck would just feel like this all day. And if I don't do it, that's what's gonna happen. But if I do it, it helps with the neck tension, the headaches. But doing this all the time, I like looking left and right. It's like you start getting dizzy, but at the same time, doing it, looking left, looking right, doing this, it makes me dizzy, but it doesn't make me scared of being dizzy as much as I used to. So it helps in a way. But people are gonna look at you like, what's wrong with this guy? Why is he doing that? Like, why is he looking up? Why is he looking like all over the place? They go start thinking you're up to something. And I heard my neighbor telling me, there have been a few cars being broken into, just a couple of blocks away from where I live, and I live in a pretty quiet neighborhood, so I don't want to start walking around to like other half of my neighborhood and start looking suspicious by looking all around the place. So, because sometimes I'll go for a walk late in the evening when when there's no light, you know, when the sun is already down. So, but you know, I feel much better this year compared to last year. You know, like last year this time I don't think I even really left my house around November and December. If I did, I wasn't really going out every day. You know, I would just go out to the corner and come back home and feel depressed because, you know, I couldn't make that extra. I couldn't cross the street because every time I cross the street, I feel like I would panic and I can't cross the street back home in town. You know, that's what anxiety does to you. You start thinking you can't do this, you can't do that, but you know, the more you say you can't, the more your subconscious mind reminds you you can't. You know, think about it this way: if you can learn how to ride a bike, you can learn how to drive, you can learn how to do things you couldn't do before. You know, why can't you learn to get over your anxiety? You know, and that's what I'm trying to do to myself: get over my anxiety so I can learn not to have them. You know, so I can learn not to be scared of them. I mean, you're gonna feel anxiety, but you should be able to learn how to get over the symptoms. You know, I mean, there's so many symptoms that I got over, and they don't really get to me. And next thing you know, I don't even notice them anymore. And when you don't notice them anymore, they will slowly go away. So, like I mentioned, you know, once you get used to, you can learn how to do things. So you should be able to learn how to be. You should be able to learn how to stop being scared of your symptoms. Sure, it might take time, but you know, the sooner you do it, the sooner you learn. You know, but anyways, you know, I'm about to head back inside right now. If I sit down any longer, like on the way I'm sitting down, like this, my knees will get numb and I can't help. But other than that, I might go for another walk again later with my neighbor, depending if he goes or not. If not, that's fine too, cause you know I just went, and you know, to be honest, when I was going, I was having like a lot of headaches and tension and stuff. So I still did it yesterday when I went for a walk with him. You know, like I mentioned earlier, I was feeling dizzy. My headache was really bad. You know, I had a moment where I was walking and I couldn't like really walk straight. I feel like I was being pushed to the left, being pushed to the right and stuff, but I still managed to go. And then he actually said, "You want to go for another block or two?" I said, "Yeah." You know, so when I got home, I felt so relieved that I was able to do it, even when I was feeling panicky. And I don't think he even noticed that I was like that I was like having a hard time walking. I mean, he knows about my anxiety because I told him about it a couple of weeks ago because he hasn't seen me too often. Anyways, I'm about to head back in.